have two great fights Saturday. Not just Davis and Barrios in Texas, but obviously Lomachenko and Nakatani here in Vegas.
Right.
Do you think Loma and Davis both win the fights, that it's time to potentially make a Davis-Lomachenko fight, especially if Lopez isn't interested in a rematch?
Well, no. Again, look at Lopez. Because he didn't take precautions and got COVID, he probably will only have one more fight this year, and that will be the Kambosos fight. So obviously, if Lomachenko wins, he doesn't want to sit around waiting, and so Lomachenko only wants to fight the best. And who are the best? Maybe Devin Haney, or maybe Tank Davis. I mean, Loma would consider both of those guys big challenges, and we would certainly like to make those matches. But again, it takes two to tango.
Mm-hmm.
So, number one, as far as Tank Davis, what does Floyd think about that? I mean, he's either manager or promoter, and nobody is more of an astute boxing scholar than Floyd Mayweather. He knows boxing. And then as far as Haney is concerned, it depends on whether his father, Bill Haney, wants to fight. I mean, I don't know. But again, if Lomachenko wins, and it doesn't look like there'll be a Teofimo Lopez rematch this year, we would welcome either of those two guys.
Which one do you think is the more doable fight, Bob?
I have no idea until I talk with them. I have no idea. I've never even mentioned this to Floyd or to Ellaby, but I would, and I know that Bill Haney has said that he would want Devin to fight Lomachenko. But again, on what terms and how much and all of that stuff.
I remember you talking about making a Haney fight for Teofimo is unrealistic because of the timetable, that he wanted to get a fight in October before his child would be born. Does this?
Well, now he can't get a fight in.
Right. So does that open possibilities to Haney and Lopez, or?
What do you mean Haney and Lopez?
So. Because Lopez, you said, it takes a month for Hearn to go over an offer.
No. Yeah, but Lopez still has that fight with Kambosos that he has to do.
But should he win that fight?
But that fight now won't happen until September, I hear. So Lopez then doesn't want to fight in November because his wife is going to have their first child, and you can't blame him. So forget about him fighting for the rest of the year after the Kambosos fight.
Is that fight possible after Kambosos now, though?
Which?
Lopez and Haney? Is that a fight you'd want to make? Or?
Well, again, that won't probably happen until next year. So what if the guy's going to do? Sit on their ass until next year? I don't think so.
Well, and then about Terrence Crawford, it's reported he'll be back October 23rd.
Well, that's the date that we hope to put him back.
In the Zepeda and Prograis, is that correct? That those?
I have no idea who his people are now sorting through. There's plenty of good candidates out there that he can fight, welterweight, junior welterweight, and will come up with the best possible opponent.
Bob spoke to Regis. He said there's no way that he comes up to 147 for that fight.
Well, then he's out. Okay, fine.
What do you think of the recently crowned undisputed Josh Taylor and Bud Crawford?
That's a great fight, and that fight hopefully will happen, but not until next year, because we had to sign, Taylor and Ramirez each signed a document that the winner has to fight Jack Catterall of the UK as the next fight. And Taylor will do that in November. That means to talk about a Taylor-Crawford fight, which is a great fight, and Taylor wants that fight, and I'm sure Terrence would want the fight. that wouldn't be until next year.
What's the best thing Terrence can do in the meantime as he's, kind of buying time, waiting for that?
Forget the Spence thing. I mean, Spence knows he can't beat Crawford, and he's going to go up in weight after the Pacquiao fight. So forget that. So what's going to happen is Crawford's biggest fight out there, as I see it, is Josh Taylor.
And maybe Teofimo one day moving up.
And Teofimo moving up, yeah.
Thank you, Bob.
Bob, really
Thanks,
quick,
Bob.
not sure if you saw, Josh Taylor recently made comments saying that he's fought better opposition than Terrence Crawford, saying that Terrence hasn't fought nobody at 147 pounds.
Right, the point is, they all talk and they look for ways they can justify themselves as winning the fight. You know and I know that Crawford has to be one of the best fighters in the world, and at 147 has an advantage over Taylor. But that being said, particularly if we do the fight over in the UK, it'll be a massive, massive event.
I mean, that's a fight you probably could. It would have to be at a stadium, right? Obviously, Terrence Crawford being, one of the pound for pound best, the draw he is, and Josh Taylor, he's proven, obviously.
Well, that depends on the time of year. If it's in a winter month, then we have to do it in an indoor venue, but they have beautiful ones over there, like the O2 Arena in London. If it's in the spring or summer, then you're right, we could go outdoors with that fight and put it in Wembley or a place like that.
Thank you very much, Bob.